Is web design actually a competitive industry? You're going to hear a lot of people say things like, web design is the most oversaturated industry on earth. It's highly competitive. There's no way you should start out as a web designer. You're never going to make any money whatsoever. But in this video, I want to answer the question, is web design actually a competitive industry? And what's the likelihood of you starting out in web design and becoming a successful agency? So first, I just want to start out by giving you some facts about how many web designers are there and is the industry growing. In 2020, there was a total of 26.2 million web developers in the world. And employment of web developers and digital designers is projected to grow 13% from 2020 to 2030. And that's faster than the average for other occupations. You might be thinking, wow, there's a lot of web designers out there. But in reality, there's also a lot of people on the internet and a lot of people that need websites. Almost 5 billion people are on the internet. 5 billion unique visitors go to the internet to find solutions to their problems and look for services and products. And web designers are really the people that are, putting these websites out there, and they're in charge of making sure that these websites are up to standard. So are there a lot of web designers? Yes. When you first start, will it be competitive? Yes. But when you become experienced in the industry, will it still be competitive? Probably not. So when it came to our agency, really for the first year, we weren't able to do very much, and we thought that the industry was so competitive. Everything we kept hearing, like web design is oversaturated and highly competitive, we believed that it was really true. And this is because we were having a hard time finding new clients and getting new leads, and we just thought there wasn't enough to go around. After months of trying different strategies like cold calling, knocking on doors, anything like that, it just was not working. And I actually made a whole video about how to find new clients. It's a really good watch for sure, but really those strategies were not working. And so we had to figure out a way to make our way in this saturated industry and to start getting new leads and actually get new clients. Try going to a networking meeting where there's a lot of other business owners trying to grow their business. Both they want to meet a bunch of people that are going to help them grow their business, but they might also want services like web design, SEO, digital marketing services, because they're there in order to grow their business. So it's really going to be the best strategy for you to actually grow your business. So back to the original point of the video, when we first started our agency, we really did not think that we could make it because we thought web design was too competitive, it was oversaturated, no way we're going to find clients. And over time, that's kind of progressed into realizing that there is a lot of demand for web design and SEO services. And it might not be easy to find, especially at the start. It's going to seem like there's nothing out there, but really there is. And it's about putting yourself and your agency in a position to actually get those leads and those people interested in optimizing their online presence. Not to mention, if you're a really good salesperson, somebody might not even know that they want a new website or SEO campaign, but if you can actually convince them and prove to them with data and a portfolio that it's going to make a big difference for their business, then there's another person that you actually can sell. Really quick, if you're liking the video, then hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. So if you're wondering if your local area has a lot of competition, the easiest thing that you could do to figure this out would be check out all of the local businesses' websites and check out if they are up to these standards. Do they work? Are they mobile compatible? Do they load fast? Look at all of these factors and determine maybe there is an area for you to jump in. Maybe there's a specific niche. And maybe there's an area for you to actually capitalize on that lack of supply when it comes to web design and digital marketing. If you've determined that your area has a large demand for web design and SEO, then there you go. I mean, that's all the evidence that you need. If your area has terrible websites that don't work, then this is probably an opportunity for you to come in and capitalize on that lack of supply. And another thing you can do is check out your competitors when it comes to web designers and SEOs in the area. Like, I know that obviously you don't need to be local to build a company's website or to run an SEO campaign, but when it comes down to it, a lot of the time people are trying to find local businesses to support. And there's a large demand for that one-on-one connection and actually knowing your web designer and being able to connect with them and talk with them. So check out all of your local competitors and see what their websites look like. Look at their portfolio. Check out if they're doing well, and if they aren't doing well, that might be a good sign. And if they are doing really well, that also potentially is a good sign. I mean, you could look at it either way, because if a competitor is doing amazing, maybe you could jump in and outcompete their quality of work to get all of that demand. But if they're not doing really well and their websites look great, then maybe that's something that you should think a little bit about. So I would say that if you want to go into web design as a freelancer or an agency owner, you should not immediately expect to be making a lot of money. You shouldn't expect a high income right off the bat. Now, I feel like this is pretty obvious, because when you start any business or you start freelancing really for any service, it's not going to be easy to immediately start making $100,000 a year. These things take time, because you have to actually learn the skills. That took us a few months, and then be able to really practice selling yourself to potential clients. And you're going to make mistakes, and over time you're going to start building on top of your mistakes, and you're going to finally get to the point where you're comfortable selling to new clients and you understand the operating procedure for different tasks. So to summarize my thoughts, I think that web design can be competitive. It definitely depends on the area, and the local competition and a lot of other factors, but I think that in general, even if it is fairly competitive, your competitors might not actually be up to high standards. They might not have high quality websites. And so even if there are a lot of competitors, you need to beat them with the quality aspect. Well, that about wraps up the video. So with that being said, remember to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.